You noticed it the day a stranger walked through you instead of around you, and something in you very quietly didn't mind. She's at a table, alone, not waiting for anyone. The coffee is exactly what she ordered. The book is the one she actually wanted, not the one someone said she should read. She's wearing what she put on this morning because it suited her. Not the room, not the occasion, not anyone's idea of either. A couple nearby is performing their Sunday, loud, photographing the pastries. She notices them the way you notice weather, without judgment, without envy. She turns a page. There's something in this particular silence, this table, this unhurried hour that she hasn't quite named yet. But it's unmistakably hers. We call it invisibility because that's the word the world offers first. The surveys will tell you 70% of women feel unseen by their 50s, overlooked, passed over, quietly set aside. And yes, something has changed. That part's real, but invisibility is the wrong word for what's actually happening, because invisibility implies disappearance, a subtraction, something taken. What if this is instead a clarification? The world had become very loud in ways she found she had no appetite for. The performance of desire, the acceleration of everything, noise dressed up as connection, spectacle dressed up as meaning. And somewhere around 50, quietly, without announcement, she stopped leaning toward it, not in defeat, in preference. The world didn't make her invisible. She became more selective about which world she was willing to inhabit. There's a long tradition of women who understood this, who arrived at a particular age and found that the lifting of the gaze wasn't an ending. It was a kind of permission. Colette wrote her most luminous work from a daybed in her apartment at the Palais Royal. She was in her 70s, largely immobile, her body failing her in the ordinary ways bodies do. She watched Paris through her window. She ate what she loved. She wrote what she wanted, in the voice she'd spent a lifetime earning. She called her window a raft. The world below, its commotion, its demands, its theater, moved without her. She wasn't invisible. She was at last entirely herself. Simone de Beauvoir observed that a woman spends the first half of her life defined by her relation to others, desired, needed, useful in the ways the world decides. What happens after, she suggested, is either a reckoning or a revelation. For some women, it's both. In 1948, Colette was awarded France's highest distinction. She was 75. She'd written more than 50 books. She'd been scandalous, adored, dismissed, celebrated, and scandalous again. When asked near the end of her life what she considered her greatest achievement, she didn't name a book, she didn't name a love affair. She said something closer to this, that she'd finally learned to want what she actually wanted, not what was offered, not what was expected, not what would be approved of, what she actually wanted. There's a particular freedom available to a woman who's moved through enough of the world to know its patterns, who's been looked at, desired, assessed, and measured, and come out the other side, knowing that none of that was ever the point. She knows what a good meal tastes like when she chose it herself. She knows what sleep feels like when it isn't interrupted by performance. She knows the texture of a morning that belongs entirely to her. The coffee, the light, the silence, the particular pleasure of wanting exactly what's in front of her. She's not competing. She's not catching up. She's not, despite what the surveys suggest, invisible. She's simply stopped auditioning for rooms she no longer wishes to enter. And in that stopping, in that very quiet, very deliberate refusal, she becomes, for the first time, entirely legible to herself. That's not a loss. That's the whole point. There's a word in French, dépaysement, the disorientation of being removed from your familiar landscape, the slight strangeness of finding yourself somewhere new. What nobody tells you is that you can experience dépaysement in your own life, in your own kitchen, in your own skin. At 50, some women find themselves in unfamiliar territory that turns out to be unmistakably home. If you're there or somewhere near it, You'll find more of this at Élan,